So, are you tired of feeling like a jukebox on the dance floor? You know that feeling, that sinking feeling. You step onto the social floor, it could be, I don't know, a high-energy salsa night, maybe a crowded bachata event, and boom.
Yeah.
Suddenly there's this massive internal pressure to perform. You're just mentally scrolling through this playlist of moves you learned last week.
Right. Trying to remember that one complex pattern.
Exactly. Or trying to invent something totally new just to keep your partner, engaged.
That pressure it's the silent killer of joy in dancing. It really is.
It is.
And it's so common, especially for leads who are, focused on execution, on always having something new to offer.
Right.
The whole dance shifts from being about a real connection to complexity, or even worse, it feels like an obligation.
An unpaid performance review.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. You stop having a conversation, and you're just constantly worried about repeating the same boring patterns.
And that stress, that mental math of what's next, it just completely defeats the whole purpose of dancing in the first place.
It does.
So that's what we want to talk about today. We're talking directly to you, the experienced leads in Malmö and around, who might be feeling this pattern fatigue.
And our mission here is really clear. We want to show you a pathway out of that stress.
A pathway that's not about learning more physical steps.
Exactly. It's about leading with something deeper, with genuine intention, energy, and just unwavering clarity. And that pathway really is through the methodology of ZOUK.
And just so everyone's on the same page, it's pronounced ZOUK.
Yes, ZOUK. And once you get the principles, the gain for you is it's profound.
Yeah.
We're not just teaching a new style.
Yeah.
We're showing you how to lead without the stress, to remove that need for endless memorization and replace it with this genuine, unscripted flow.
That magical feeling.
A magical connection for both partners. It's all about cultivating presence over performance.
Okay, let's unpack that. Let's really get into it. Why do leads, particularly good ones, dancers with real technical skill in salsa or bachata, why do they fall into this jukebox trap? Is it just how they were taught? Sequence first, feeling second?
It's partly structural, yes, but it's also psychological. We're sort of conditioned to believe, maybe subconsciously, that the secret to being a good lead is volume.
More is more.
More is more. More patterns equals a better dance for your partner. So we just stack move on top of move, aiming for this technical brilliance.
Sure.
But the flaw in that logic is that complexity. It actually distracts from true presence. Now think about it. If your brain is running 3 seconds ahead of your feet.
Trying to remember a 48 count sequence?
Yeah. You are, by definition, absent from the moment that you're supposed to be sharing with your partner right now.
That makes total sense. If all my mental energy is going towards retrieval, remembering how to get into that turn pattern, I can't possibly be feeling my partner's response.
Not at all. Or the music's nuances.
Right.
And that's the thing. Leads get tired of repeating the same boring patterns, and they figure out the answer isn't a bigger list of moves. The truth is, we move beyond moves.
Okay.
That whole pattern-focused approach, it turns the dance into a checklist, and your partner becomes someone you do steps at, not someone you create with. The real secret is in what we call ZOUK embodiment. It's about focusing on your internal awareness and your intention, not just external complexity.
Okay, but I have to jump in here with some skepticism. I think a lot of experienced leads would be thinking this right now.
Please.
If I stop focusing on technical moves, on these big, impressive patterns, and I start focusing on something more abstract like inner awareness, won't I just look slow or less dynamic? Will my partner feel like I'm just standing there, kind of lost in my own head?
That is a brilliant, brilliant question.
Yeah.
And it's necessary because it gets to the core misunderstanding.
Okay.
Leading with awareness is not about being passive. It's actually the opposite.
How so?
If a lead is clear and present and grounded, the follows experience is immediately elevated, instantly, even if the steps are really simple.
So the goal isn't to be slower.
The goal is to be stronger in your connection, but softer in your execution. We're prioritizing this awareness, this inner harmony,
Right.
which lets the physical movement, no matter how complex, be communicated seamlessly. It comes from your center, not from brute force in your arms. You stop dancing at them and start moving with them.
Okay, that clarifies it. It's not passive, it's intentionally grounded.
Precisely.
So if the physical grip isn't the main tool here, what are the specific tools in the ZOUK methodology that let a lead communicate with this, energy and intention.
This is where ZOUK really shines, especially with its somatic tools. The biggest shift is trading that mental checklist, that stress, for true physical presence.
Okay.
We train you to communicate intention not just with your hands, that's secondary, but through the subtle movement of your entire body, sourced from your core.
So it's the internal state creating the external movement, making the lead super clear.
Exactly. We focus a lot on two key concepts. The first one is intuitive movement.
Intuitive movement?
Yeah, it's a way of training yourself to sense every movement from the inside out. So think of it this way. Instead of deciding to do a step and then trying to pull your partner into it.
Which happens a lot.
So much. Instead, you connect with the music and you let the impulse for the movement start from your core, move through your frame, and then gently to your partner. It becomes fluid, organic.
I can see how that bypasses the mental jukebox thing. If it's intuitive, there's no sequence to recall.
There's nothing to recall.
But how does that work mechanically for a lead who's used to a very defined frame, like in salsa or a tight bachata hold?
Great question. Let's use an analogy. In a lot of dances, the lead's frame is like a fixed lever. The communication is mostly one-dimensional, through the arms.
Right, a push or a pull.
Exactly. With ZOUK's focus on this center-sourced intention, the lead's frame becomes more like a sensitive three-dimensional antenna.
An antenna, I like that.
So when you initiate a turn, it's not a muscular tug. It's a subtle shift of your weight, an engagement of your core that signals the direction and the speed.
Yeah.
Long before your hand does much of anything.
So it removes the guesswork for the follower.
Completely. It's what makes some of those advanced bachata sensual moves look so effortless. It's not the hands doing the work. It's the body's grounded communication.
That sounds like a powerful tool, especially if you're a lead who, maybe relies on a bit of muscle to make things happen.
It changes everything. And the second tool you asked about is somatic deepening.
Somatic deepening.
This is basically a guided journey to find inner harmony and heightened self-awareness while you're dancing.
Okay.
And for leads, this is crucial because the quality of your lead is directly proportional to your internal state. If you're rushed or stressed, that chaos transmits right through your frame, no matter how good the move is.
So if I'm gearing up for some fast turns, somatic deepening would help me stay internally calm, which would then translate to a more stable, readable frame for my partner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Think about the physical result. You learn to use your breath to ground yourself, to feel your weight clearly, to maintain an open, connected posture. When a lead is internally harmonious, their guidance is effortlessly clear and incredibly soft. This is what we call technical mastery. It isn't about learning 100 new moves.
It's about perfecting the moves you have.
It's about achieving that perfect softness, precision, and responsiveness that makes even a basic walk feel, well, profound, elegant.
That's a really interesting way to redefine technical mastery. It's not about athleticism. It's about physical clarity.
That's it. If your body is the vessel and you're internally prepared, the execution just follows.
The guidance simplifies.
It simplifies.
Yeah.
And the whole dance transforms into this organic experience. It's purely about human connection and awareness. That's how you get that unscripted flow.
It really sounds like a complete reframing of what a lead does. You stop being the director with the script and you become the conductor, responding to the orchestra in the moment.
Beautifully put.
And for someone who's maybe frustrated with their salsa or bachata, who feels stuck in that intermediate rut of just stacking patterns, ZOUK sounds like it offers the missing piece of the puzzle.
That is exactly what we see. The ZOUK approach, it offers this huge sense of liberation for leads. First, you escape stress. You just ditch the pressure to memorize.
Because the foundation is awareness, not memory.
Right. The focus shifts to communicating how you feel right now. You let your heart and body lead the way. You're trading that stressful mental checklist for intuitive presence.
Which means the lead actually gets to enjoy the dance, too, because they're present.
100%. And secondly, you gain deeper impact. This whole methodology, this focus on awareness and grounding it, improves the quality of every single dance you do.
Regardless of the style.
Any style. We hear it all the time from leads who love the feel of bachata sensual, but their connection is, hit or miss. They think they need more complicated dips.
But what they really need is a better connection.
The missing piece is the ZOUK embodiment.
So a bachata lead could apply somatic deepening to stabilize their frame, or a salsa lead could use intuitive movement to initiate a smoother double turn, and they'd get better results without learning a single new step from another dance.
That is it. It's like an upgrade to your core operating system. You're not replacing anything. You're refining the engine that powers it all.
And what about the practical side? I mean, for someone worried about starting over, is this months of foundational work before you can use it?
Not at all. And we have to be really clear about this. No complicated steps are required to start mastering this. Our foundation is in your body, your heart, your awareness.
Things you already have.
Things you have right now. You're just learning to listen to them, to connect with the music from day one. It's immediately applicable. You just need to be willing to shift your focus from your feet to your feeling.
So that freedom, that unscripted flow, is accessible almost right away.
Yes. The goal is to let your genuine self create the elegance. We dance not to impress, but to feel, to listen, to meet each other in that moment.
And when the lead focuses on that, the pressure to perform just melts away.
It's replaced by genuine human connection, the joy of creating something together spontaneously.
So for the lead out there who's always running that mental calculation of what's next, here's a thought for you to mull over. Imagine having a deeply connected dance where the greatest move you executed wasn't some complex pattern, but just the clarity and the elegance of your pure intention, communicated silently, effortlessly.
How much more satisfying would that dance be?
Infinitely.
That's the ultimate goal. We invite you to discover how to lead with your energy, not just your hands. Stop being that jukebox.
Right.
Start being the maestro of unscripted flow.
And if you're ready to make that shift, to trade that stress for real satisfaction and upgrade all your partner dancing, you can take the next step.
Book a private lesson or join a course with us at ZOUK Malmö Dance School. You can find all the details, including our next Sensual and Flow Bootcamp, which is designed for experienced dancers looking for exactly this, at ZOUKMalmo.com.
That's ZOUKMALMO.com.
We look forward to meeting you with open hearts. Welcome to ZOUK Malmö Dance School.